Hi YouTube, hi Twitch. I'm TychoCelchuuu, and this is a Company Heroes 2 shotcast. If you didn't realize, you probably should have realized because the title is Company Heroes 2, so it's really not that hard to tell. This is Eerie playing as the OK, not as the OKW, just as the Austere, the plain old Austere. We got vanilla factions on a vanilla Company Heroes 1 map versus Stone Killer. And I'm drunk. I'm streaming simultaneously on Twitch. People in Twitch are talking about stuff, betting some Tycoins on the match. You can bet Tycoins on the match. Didn't Tycho say something about Florida yesterday? Can't remember, says Twitch chat. I can't remember either, so that's good. Got conscripts out first, and interesting, they have machine gun out first. So we are on Semoskiy non-winter, which means this is water, which means it's fairly easy, all things considered, to pin your opponent in their base by sort of locking down this house and putting a machine gun here, or if you're on the other side, locking down this house, putting a machine gun here, etc., etc. So that might be what the Austere player is going for. We'll have to see where this first machine gun heads out. And we actually have a Maxim coming out second from the Soviets, so both players sort of having the same sort of idea. Semoskiy having a lot of built up houses, and the church being a super crucial one. MG42 can't make it to the church, so it's just like, fuck it, I'm setting up. And now I'm not setting up, I'm on setting up. That's interesting choice. I would have really liked to see it just set up right here, because there's no window right here, so it's literally invincible right there. So that's a good trick if you don't know that. You can set up in this blind spot and you won't get shot by the enemy. And actually they depart the church. The Maxim's not going to be there for a while, so that's really strange. I guess the idea is they can hop in to see the enemy, but you won't see the enemy approaching, because remember, we have true sight, trademarked by Relic, so the church is a sight blocker. Very strange from the Soviet, but does hop into the church. Again, now is getting owned by the MG42, but getting some good damage in on the MG42 also, so it's not a bad idea. Seeing those conscripts there. Very strange putting the Max in there. I wouldn't have expected that from the Soviet player. Playing it very safe is how you know, whoa, look at how much, and they're even getting suppressed, because this fucker, how is he getting shot? Why would you go? And we have a mortar out. Oh man, already this is so exciting, which is bad because I'm drunk, so it's going to be tough for me to keep up with what's happening at this Eastern Orthodox church made out of wood with a very strange thing just bolted in the fucking top. This is not integrated very well with the rest of the architecture, so you definitely got to give Relic some minus points for that. So very passive play with his M1910 Maxim being set up in this house instead of rushing for the church. So obviously it could have gone in the church. There were the conscripts occupying the church. So that's a classic move. You put your squad in the church, send your MG into the church, and then exit the other squad out of the garrison. We see that all the time, and I'm really surprised we didn't see that, because that's giving up the church, this MG42, which sets up facing the wrong fucking direction because they didn't get the fucking memo. What a bunch of fucking idiots. This is what happens when I'm drunk. There is luckily a mortar here, so that's going to be useful for dislodging the M1910 Maxim. I don't know why I insist on saying the year of the Maxim every time I refer to it. Presumably that's the alcohol talking. It's wine, by the way. If you didn't watch my previous shotcast, it's definitely wine. And we have two Maxims out, so pretty understandable on Semoskiy. The German player is just wiping the fucking floor with the Soviet player. German player doesn't have very good VP control somehow, but does have tremendous map control. You look at the income, 26 fuel versus the 10 for the Soviets, 31 munitions versus 16 for the Soviets. Worse manpower, but that's totally understandable because it's just got like way more squads. And the Soviets going all in on the Maxim. So we got a Maxim spammer. Good. Do we have any Maxim bulletins? The answer being no. Very strange. Very strange. Stranger days. Strange Days. That's the name of the movie. What's Twitch chat saying? Nothing interesting. So yeah, very odd decisions from the Soviet players so far, not trying to get that church. And then you kind of got to predict that Austere mortar. I mean, it's a pretty reasonable choice on Semoskiy, especially when you're MG spamming. I mean, especially when the Soviets are MG spamming, you got to predict that your opponent's going to go a mortar in response. And so that makes this... Oh, I'm sorry I'm yawning. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not very tired. That makes this building kind of not a super viable proposition. You want to be set up here so you can maybe at least sort of secure this area, and then you can send in your conscripts versus the mortar. These conscripts just idle at base. This is, I think, the #1 auto-match ranked game right now. If it's not the #1, no, it's not the #1. The #1 had a 7-minute wait. I think this is #2 or #3. I think this is #3, which is still pretty good because a lot of people are playing right now. So these players are both good. And to be fair to Soviet player, really nice maximum usage over here, getting some good damage on these Grenadiers, and then resetting up to catch this guy right in the face. Not going to be able to catch him, but with the 5 people in the squad, that gives them enough breathing room to get some damage done. Would like to see the combat engineers in the fight. It looks like they're getting this fight. See, they're still suppressed, and just to get unsuppressed kind of doesn't matter a ton. Oh wow, retreating the Maxim. Wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting the combat engineers to hop the green cover either. That's a strange move. But they're chasing the Grenadiers. That's some balls, guys. And they killed a Grenadier. Oh, look at this. And they're getting in the house? No, they're strange item. That's a very tough one to analyze because, so the combat engineers chasing the Grenadiers makes sense because they were at low health. So they were hoping for a good critical hit, wipe out a guy. It's 2 versus 4. You can probably win that fight with combat engineers. Then getting into the house, I guess, makes a lot of sense because that gives you the resiliency you need. And at that point, the Grenadiers basically fucked. They have to run away, either via retreating or just walking away. And now you're free to cap the left-hand side of the map. So the Soviets clawing their way back into some map control. The fuel income, not too bad of a disparity. It's going to be better once this strategic point is capped, and maybe once the Soviets take this, if they can. Looks like the Germans abandoning it for the middle of the map, which makes a lot of sense. We have an MG here pinning the opponent in the base. Again, makes a lot of sense on Semoskiy, and we have the Mortar there too, but the German wisely repositioning the Mortar because they know the Soviets are moving up on the map. I don't know about hopping these combat engineers here into the left, although it looks like it's a good choice, so I do know. Good on the Soviets. Knows not going to be able to cap the munitions before the German Grenadiers show up, and the Grenadiers for sure outmatch the conscript, or the engineers in that fight, and so the only way you're going to win that is to get hop in the house. Now, to be fair, the house only has 1 window over here, so you're not going to win the fight, but it will give you the survivability. It lets you last a while till the Maxim shows up. So that was, I think, a really good choice. And now even bum rushing, not doing the thing that you see a lot of players do, trying to cap that munitions, not getting greedy, not going for the resources, going for the winning the fight. Knows that you can get back cap the resources once the fight is won. Actually, you can't because there's an armored car, but that was good in principle. Good sort of choice. This didn't kill any squads, but that was close. Almost lost a Maxim in that collapsing house. Is the armored car gonna chase? Surprising not to see a chase. I think the German must have been microing elsewhere because I think that really would have been a chase for the ages. Would have wiped out that conscript squad potentially. Totally would have been worth it. Not a lot here that can hurt you. The Maxim was not facing in a direction that could have hurt the scout car, so it's surprising again not to see the scout car chasing. There is a lot for the German player to move microing here. You want to keep a handle on this Mortar team. You want to keep a handle on this MG team. You want to keep a handle on your Grenadiers. This is painful. This is really bad. This is really bad. Oh, they're retreating. That's good. That's a good retreat, but you might not even make it out. Oh, that's so bad. I cannot overemphasize how bad that is because now there's a conscript squad which is too far away. It was brutalizing the Mortar, but if these guys get reinforced in time, that is so a Soviet MG42. That's really not what you need as the Germans, especially because you haven't gone heavy MGs. You've gone heavy Grenadiers, just the 1 MG. This is just so bad. Oof, that's painful. That's really painful. Let's see if the Soviets take this thing. They got a heavy Mortar. Someone in Twitch chat called this, by the way. Lumpy3 called this in Twitch chat. Totally understandable. It's a really nice Mortar. Mortar coordination tactics. Really nice thing. T-3485's in the distance. I love the T-3485. I've talked so much about my love for this that you people are probably tired of it. If this is your first TychoCelchuuu shoutcast, then thank you for joining me out of the blue. You should go watch some of my previous ones where I talk about how I love the T-3485. But do the Soviets have this thing yet? No, they don't. When are they going to get it? Please get it. Don't fucking finish reinforcing this. Just send it out and grab the machine gun and retreat. You need it. You need it. Are you going to take it with your engineers? That's a little risky because they'll go down. Ooh, that's an interesting recrew. They're going to immediately retreat. It's going to take a while to unset up. You're under flamethrower fire, but since they're full health, it makes sense. So the flamethrower are most dangerous when you're at low health. That's when the crits hurt you. So the German, oh no, loses the squad though. So don't know if he knew the Maxim was there. Might even lose this squad. This is just, oh, this is really bad for the Germans. The scout car, the only saving grace here. And that just keeps getting fucking continually AT grenade from the conscripts just to be a pain in the ass. Not to try and kill it, but just to keep it out of the fight for a little longer. Ironically, it could be in the fight if it wanted, because there's nothing. Oh, why am I yawning? I'm so sorry. That could really hurt it until this AT gun shows up, but the German player doesn't know that. German player being very understandably cautious with this thing. Once the engine gets killed, you pull it back a bit just so that you don't get caught out in any sort of ugly sort of situation. I got cats on my left, cats on the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you, and man, that cat just fucking... That guy always wants food. It's almost dinner time, so I can sort of understand it. But so earlier today at about 2 p.m., which is not when I usually eat lunch. It was later than normal, but I was cooking for a while. I made a bunch of shepherd's pies. I made one vegan shepherd's pies. I made one big old shepherd's pie in a casserole dish, and then I made a tiny little cute shepherd's pie in a cast iron pan that I got as a gift, so that was cool. And then I ate the one in the tiny cast iron pan. Wow, what a weird oorah. I don't know what that was. I think the oorah was because they expected the and then a Molotov. They expected the grenadiers to retreat, and so the oorah was popped to chase. Strange. Maybe it was a misclick for the Molotov. It couldn't have been a misclick for the Molotov, so I don't know. Very strange. Here's this thing. Boom, boom, boom. Own those fucking engineers. Oh, yeah. But yeah, vegan shepherd's pie, good shit. It's made with lentils and celery and carrots and onions and stock and herbs and stuff. All sorts of people saying LOL in Twitch chat, but Twitch chat is obviously delayed, so I don't know what they're LOLing at. There's a lot of stuff to LOL. That was, what the hell hit that? Where's the AT gun firing way really far? I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of stuff in CoH2 that's worse than the first Company Heroes, and one of them is the huge fucking range of the AT guns and the tanks. It's just not good. It's just not a good thing. It's just not as exciting. It makes it less exciting when things don't have to get as close to fight. Now we see the MG42 being used as the Maxim earlier in the game was used, which is suppress/pin a person, then reposition while they're pinned, and own the fuck out of them. Yeah. Shooting those conscripts, they need to retreat. I don't know why they're staying so long. Presumably that was a micro sort of thing. This Soviet player has a lot of shit to micro. And Zombie Francis says, tries to rush the buildings before the Grens get in, I bet. Yeah, that's probably what the oorah was. But that was a strange choice. I guess the idea was, look, if my opponent's not microing the Grens, I have a chance to beat them. The conscripts were here, the Grens were here. So if you oorah and then get to the building, maybe it's too late. But your opponent was microing the Grens, which means you weren't able to make it to the building first. But yeah, that's a good prediction. Oof, nice mortar hit. Boom, how many kills has it got? 3. Okay, so not very many. Zombie Francis say, hey, AT guns got crazy range in CoH1 too. Yeah, but not as good as in CoH2, okay? Just seriously. For real. I think I know what I'm talking about. I shoutcasted some CoH1 back in the day. That was back in the day when nobody even uploaded to YouTube. YouTube didn't basically exist. You would just upload an MP3, and people would download the MP3, download the replay, and sync it up. Takeover battalion completed. All right, are we going to see a T70? See a T70? I'm too drunk to say that correctly the first time around. 2 Panzergren squads, by the way. Just 1 kill between them. They've mostly not done a lot because it's tough to get these working versus Maxims. But if you get them close enough for a bundle grenade, kablooey. That's my impression of the noise a bundle grenade makes. Do you guys think that was good? We don't have a doctrine chosen by the Germans yet, so we can check out. Well, they got Spearhead, pretty straightforward. Mechanized, very straightforward. And Mobile Defense, very straightforward. I don't know why you would double up on Mechanized and Mobile Defense. I feel like Mobile Defense is the one to go for. Not a lot of difference between the two, but, you know, I'm not as good at this game as these players are. There's got to be something you can replace Mechanized Doctrine with. Why am I yawning? Why am I yawning? It's the wine. The wine is destroying me from the inside, folks. Some nice, I think that was a mortar hit. Who died? I think I probably just saw it on my screen. Too drunk. Pogi says, I remember watching Warcraft 3 replays with Shoutcast's MP3s sick manually. Good times. Good times. Great something. Oldies. That was the... What was that? That was the like tagline for a Seattle radio station, maybe. I don't. I have approximately 2% of my mental faculties in operation right now, so this is kind of gross. The Soviet players surprisingly low on VPs, just really being slowly pushed back by the Germans as a result of not having a lot of fuel. Oh, actually, no. It doesn't have a lot of fuel because we teched up tier 4. So there's your answer. We're probably looking for T-3485s, I bet. Because that's what you get from this doctrine. So that's why we've teched up tier 4. I would have... It is a little surprising to me we didn't stop over for a T-70. The PAC-40s do own the T-70s, but the T-70s own the scout cars, and the scout car is up to 5 kills, Vet 2. The scout car is still a bit of a pain in the ass for this Soviets. It's mostly serving as a sort of protector at this point, trying to keep the Soviets from infringing on the fuel in the bottom right-hand corner, or I guess it's just the bottom corner, the south corner of the map. Can you hear that cat? Can you hear that cat? Lumpy3 says, Asgrens feels good, man. I suppose that's why you'd have German mechanized doctrine, because you get the Asgrens in the mechanized grenadier group. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, look, this thing's back. Is it gonna get... Why are they doing this? Someone tell me why they bothered oorahing. So that's 10 munitions plus 25. So I guess it's pretty cheap. To be fair, it's very cheap. 35 munitions, really not a lot in the grand scheme of things. But I don't know. That you're not gonna kill it. You're just gonna at best put it out of commission for like a minute till the pioneers show up. So that seems like a waste to me. It seems like a weird tactical decision on the Soviet part. But it does buy you some breathing room, so it's understandable. I'm cold. Apropos of nothing, I'm cold, just in case you were curious. But let's be honest, if you're watching me, you can put up with a few non-sequiturs. Hey, there's this little kitty. You want dinner, don't you, kitty? Don't you want dinner? You want dinner? Yeah, you do. Really bad. Just shut up, though. Oh man, I love cats. I love dogs. I love all animals. Nice this bombardment, my friends. Nice this bombardment. That's a spicy meatball, if I might say so myself. A spicy, explosive meatball, and it's only got 2 kills actually, so it's really not as impressive as you thought. But it did force the retreat. Now this is the Soviet players' way back into the game. We don't have the VP control because somehow the Germans got their hands fucking on this. Those pioneers, man, marauders, props to them. They've even got their minesweepers with them, so they don't have to worry about any extraneous mines. So Germans really doing a great job being wily, but it looks like the Soviets finally got to claw their way into VP control with this thing on the left. They've got a Maxim in the center, but who knows how long that's going to last because it's being bombarded with a mortar. Lumpy says, no assault grenadiers are in the mech assault doctrine 0P. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. How many kills? 4 kills on the German mortar, but really understating the impact I think it's had on this game, because I think the Soviet would have done better establishing control in the center if there weren't a mortar to sort of fight against as they're trying to move in, because Maxims can't just park themselves in any convenient building. You really don't want to underestimate the power of parking a Maxim just in a building to gain a foothold. So let's say the Germans, as they have for most of this match, have control of the center. A really easy way to take back control of the center is just pop your Maxim in like the nearest building, or even sneak it over here in this building or something, and then that gives you really good sight, which is actually really important for assaulting the center. It gives you good sight, it gives you a nice base of fire, you can maybe shoot at whoever's in the church, etc., etc. You can certainly suppress all the infantry that are hanging out here, and as you can see, there's obviously infantry hanging around here, but the German mortar just shuts that down. You just can't park your Maxim in a building and just hang out, because as we saw, the German mortar demolished this building, and it can do the same to other buildings where Maxims are hanging out. So that's just a huge game changer, and you never want to underestimate the mortars on Semoskiy, just like you never want to underestimate the mortars on Samoa. in the original Company Heroes. How's this, these guys doing some work, my friends. They're doing some work, decapping that fuel, capping that fuel. It's connected via that sort of strategic point up there. And if you look at the fuel income, plus 30 for the Soviets. So we have the first T-34 coming out. Is that an 85 or a 76? I don't know if you can even tell from the silhouette, but you can tell now that I click on it, it's an 85. This, my friends, is the turning point. We're 20 minutes into the match, and this may be the time. It may be the time for the Soviets. Check your gear in the rear, because it's time for the T-34-85. I don't know what I just said. Molotov. Ooh, German players not microing here. I can tell you what. Oh, now they are. Cool. Teller mines. Does Soviet know that's there? I think not. Don't look revealed. Okay, so the T-34 is here. Soviet is totally back in the game. Why is it going over here? I don't know. Where's the Pak-40? This is really important. Here's the Pak-40. This is a really good place to park a Pak-40 when you don't know where the opponent's tank is, because the opponent's tank hasn't existed for 20 minutes, but now it's finally here. 270 fuel float on the Osters, the zombie Francis. I think that's on purpose. You're waiting to see what the Soviet player attacks to, and then you can respond to the tech by dumping a lot of your banked fuel into whatever it is that's most crucial. So these teller mines could be ugly. Pak-40 moves up to this. So this is a nice place to park the Pak-40 when you don't know where the opponent's tank is, where it's going to be coming from. Now you know. Now would be the time to replace the Pak-40, please. Please reface. 100! 1100! I don't know what the manpower float on the Soviets going. Zombie Francis just pointed out. Also in the chat, that was ugly. The Pak-40 missing. Everything's fucking getting crazy all of a sudden. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. Sad to see the T-34 missing. It's really a crucial shot versus these Panzer Grens, but it gets another chance and it wipes the squad. So, T-34 85, showing why they pay the big bucks, why you don't buy a T-34 76. That's just fucking amateur hour. You buy the 85 when you can, because it fucking destroys the squads. Wowsies, McGowsies. And look, see, the fuel float totally paid off. Managed to buy a Panther when the T-34 comes out. So good response by the Germans. Totally makes sense. T-34 does not give a fuck about the anti-infantry mines. Wants to recreate its amazing job versus the original Panzer Grenadier Squad. May end up going over a Teller mine. Nice that the T-34 did not detonate the Teller mine with that shot. That would have been really unfortunate for the Germans. But looks like the Panzer IV is going to catch it in the butt. Sorry, not the Panzer IV, the Panther. It's on the warpath. T-34 is retreating. We do have 2 Soviet AT guns. That's remarkably prescient, I feel. Given that the German player has barely tipped his hand in terms of his or her hand in terms of tanks, has tipped the hand in terms of scout car, which is finally getting repaired. But 2 AT guns is definitely overkill for that once you have the T-34 85 on the field. People in Twitch chat, I don't know what they're talking about. You can definitely hear the cats, I feel like they're definitely coming across. We have some desperation by the Soviets. I feel like sending the 120mm mortar. 120mm mortar. That's a tongue twister when you're drunk. To cap some points. We have a lot of fucking conscript squads, which I approve of. I said that in a bad voice, but it's actually a good thing. I'm happy. And here's the Panther, whiffs its first shot, so that's really unfortunate. The T-34, I think, just squished a guy. I may have been imagining that, but I think it squished a guy. Really bad to lose the engine, so that's unfortunate. But we have the AT guns here, so this could... Oh, no! Panther going ham is really getting rewarded for it, because now the AT guns are going to have trouble shooting it. I think they have a clear shot here. We have a marked target, I assume, coming in from the Soviets. Is the T-34-85 going to survive? It's one more hit from the Panther. The Panther is realizing things are looking bad, but the front pings are pinging off. The ZIS are pinging off. The ZIS are still pinging off. The Panther misfires through the fucking shed. The T-34 is limping away. The Panther realizes he's got to get away. Now the ZISs are missing. This is just a horrible performance from these double Soviet AT guns. I expected a lot more from these guys. The Panther hasn't even had a damaged engine. There's no conscripts around. These guys are trying to fucking oorah to snare it, but wow, what an indecisive fight that was. Neither player losing their tech, and the T-34 is still fucking fighting. These guys are gonna Faust it. Wow, you better reverse ASA fucking P if you know what I mean. Jesus, these conscripts are going to try and get some damage in, but they're not going to be able to stop, I think, the onslaught. The question is this reversing thing faster than the... yes, they are faster than the Grenadiers, and they get out, and the Grenadiers might actually be killed on the retreat by the conscripts that I thought were ineffectual, but no, their health bar is way too big for that, especially at Vet 2. Oh. Wow. KPen97 asking, did he think he could attack ground through the hut? Asking maybe about the Soviets for the Zisses, or the Germans for the Panther, I don't know which. We have a Panzer II being built, very odd choice. We have a T-34 being built as a 76 or an 85. 85, good. Beautiful. I love the 85. My favorite thing. My favorite thing. Wow. Whew. I gotta calm down after that. How are these cats doing? They're just walking around in my room waiting for some dinner. Yeah, so the ZIS's demerits for not killing the Panther, but merits for saving the T-34. It's repairing itself. Okay. You've definitely got engineers who could definitely be doing that, but whatever. Spend the munitions for all I care. See if I give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You think I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Vet 3 conscripts versus Vet 2 Grenadiers. The Grenadiers have to be on the move for some unfathomable reason, which is a terrible mistake because this MG34 can only, or MG42 can only fire when they're not moving. And notice it fired literally one burst before they were forced to retreat. That was bad. Should have just held your ground. Give them an attack order if you want to make sure they're not moving, because an attack order will cancel out a move order. Just give them an attack order on the conscripts. That's their only chance to kill them. If you lose that fight, you'll have to retreat anyways, which is what the Grenadiers ended up doing. So that's definitely what the German ought to have done. Tried to get into cover, obviously. That was what was going on. Can you hear the cat fucking scratching the hell out of my door frame? I don't know if you can. Tried to get into cover. That's just a terrible mistake. Even without the Molotov, which was fairly predictable, but even without that, just moving around so the MG42 can't shoot is just not going to happen. Whoopsie daisy! Church collapses. MG30 or 42. Why do I keep saying 34? Someone fucking kill me. Is dead. But now the Pak 40 gets a shot off, and this might be the end for the 85. Except is the other 85 here? Yes. I still don't know if they can take on the Panther. This is just a weird fight for the Soviets. You know there's a Panther somewhere. So even a Panther alone is just bad news bears. And it turns out there's a Pak 42, which you honestly I think could have predicted. Even if you didn't predict it, you should have been worried about it. That was just throwing your tank away. I really like aggression. Aggression's great, but unsupported by AT guns means you can't take on the Panther. Unsupported by infantry means you can't take on the AT guns. Might actually pick up the Panther if these Zisk things get their fucking shit together. That guy took too long to set up, so no. But that was just stupid. I'm sorry. What was this? Marked vehicle? Did the marked vehicle plane get shot down somewhere? Hard to tell. That was just stupid. I'm sorry for the Soviets. And now we have everybody's favorite thing, our Sturmpanzer. Wow, weird. When's the last time you saw this? Very strange. I guess coming to kill the AT guns, not a bad choice, but also a bad choice. I'm just gonna. It's kind of a stupid thing to build. You'd need a Panzer IV, I think, would be a better choice to stand up to these 85s. Or even a Panther, because you've got the fuel. Brave infantry just made the ultimate sacrifice somewhere, but I can't tell where. Oh no, it was these guys. It was the crew, I think, for the gun. I think they get the voice line. Brave infantry made the ultimate sacrifice. Yeah, really strange buying a Brummbar. Brummbar being the Sturmpens thing. I don't I mean, again, good versus AT guns, but not good versus tanks. And your opponent is in T-3485 spam mode, and you do have the fuel for something cooler, so. In fact, whoops, that's not the Germans. In fact, what's the Brummbar cost? 150 fuel, so it's not even cheaper fuel-wise than the Panther. It's 15 fuel cheaper, which is not a lot of fuel. And you could even, because you have to tech, no, you don't have to tech to the Panzer IV tier. So no, you can't build Panzer IV. So that at least makes sense, because the Panzer IV would be better than the Panther, I feel like, versus the AT guns. But you can't get the Panzer IV, so maybe get the Brummbar. Or, Lumpy3 says he has tier 3, he could have built a Stug or 2. Stu. Oh, Jesus! The Brummbar suddenly showing its mastery of the field, so I take it back. I take it back. It's good versus the infantry. I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about it as an anti-AT gun thing, but versus anti-infantry. Zombie Francis says, Auster needs Werfer, Soviet needs more T-34-85s. Cool.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
It's an anti-blob tank, says KB Spinner. So, I mean, the Soviet player, up until, like, right then, has not been really blobbing a lot. Boom! Yeah, it's an anti-AT gun thing. Look at that. That was a nice shot. It just needs to do that again. Do that again. Do it again.
AT gun is ready.
Yeah, that's what the German player built this for. And we do get the squad of infantry has been killed thing. The message for that. Wow, anybody's game at this point. Looked pretty good for the Germans, but the Soviet player has a lot of infantry on the map, has a lot of AT guns on the map, has a T-34-85 on the map and more coming. So definitely don't want to write them off yet. Tobis COH says, Tycho, what times are you usually streaming? I have no set schedule. I'm sorry. I know it'd be easier for people if I had a set schedule for streaming, but I don't have a set schedule for streaming. So it's just all a fucking, it's all a fucking crapshoot. Oof, Brummbar really does not need to be spearhead in this sort of assault. Of all the things you can send in first, the Brummbar is not the thing I'd send in first. It's just getting itself wound up. I would send in infantry first. If you find some Maxims, then you can call them the Brummbar or the Panther. If it looks like it's anti-tank, the anti-tank is not there. Yeah, really just didn't need to get your Brummbar killed in that situation. That was just amateurish. And again, I swear these players are good. So if you look them up on the ladder, I bet they're good. If somebody on Twitch chat wants to look them up on the ladder, that'd be sweet. I did that for Imperial Dane the other day, and nobody's fucking ever reciprocated for me. Zombie Francis says, 15 CPs, no commander choice on Auster. Yeah, surprise, turns out there's a commander choice. And it's the Tycho commander. But now we're calling in fragmentation bombs. This could get ugly. Let's watch if the Soviet player does realize, I think, moving these people away. Here we go. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. It really didn't do a lot. It just killed decrewed an AT gun, which is not super impressive considering the Panther is basically already out of range, and considering it's so easy to just stick some fucking conscripts on these things. Now the Soviet player fucking blobbing. By the way, somebody mentioned Brummbar, good anti-blob. Now we got the blobbing going. This AT gun decrewed, not this one, but the other one, some other, this one decrewed, that one decrewed, this one decrewed earlier by the frag bombs. Good job, Panzergrens. Turns out though this Maxim has been here since like 10 minutes ago, and here you've been surprised. Oof, what infantry squad died just now? Who died? Strange. I wasn't keeping track. Maybe it was a conscript squad because there seems like it's a fucking million of us. So now that these guys are suppressed, the conscripts have no fear. They run on in, own some people up. They're also recruiting these things. So the Panther's like, wait, I thought I was safe. Oh no, I'm not safe. And it's just the frag bombs again. Just the straight up frag bombs again. Are they going to kill this AT gun thing that was decrewed? Oh wow, no, but they catch some people on the tail end. But they're conscripts. Who gives a fuck? So now the question is the Panther going to be able to kill all three of these AT guns? Because 2 of these are on one shot. You really need to attack ground. Fucking attack ground. You don't even need to attack ground. You can just give the attack. Cool. One dead. Kill the other, and then run the fuck away. Kill it. Oh yeah, it's dead. So looking real nice for the Auster. If they can get this Panther out, and they can because they pop smoke. I'm sure you can hear the cat right now. We are up to 2 Panthers, by the way, if you haven't been keeping track. That's why this one has no vet and the other one has vet 2. It's because the vet 2 one is not in the fight. Revlabot in Twitch chat, saying some cool stuff. I don't know if I mentioned so far, if you aren't watching me on Twitch, I totally recommend you sign up, follow me on Twitch, because you can earn Tycoins now. Tycoins. That, I think, was a conscript squad. Yeah, that was a conscript squad. That's unfortunate. Soviet player, from what was looking like a pretty good position, is now starting to hurt. These 2 85s are super important. Still totally in the game, but 2 AT guns down, a lot of conscript squads dying. This is looking kind of ugly. Anyways, if you watch me on Twitch, you can earn Tycoins. You can bet them on matches as you watch them in progress, and then fucking nothing happens with the Tycoins. But yeah, so German player totally in this game, Soviet player in the game. German player is at pop cap. I don't think, yeah, you can't call in a Tiger even if you have the resources because you're at pop cap. 2 Panthers not cheap. Panthers just owning these T-34s. Soviet player, I think, has really been strangely aggressive. in the middle with these T-34s. I would like to see the T-34s on the edges. I think when it was first built, like literally first built, the very first T-34 went up here and did some good shit. I think that's what you need to be doing now with the T-34s. I'm hiccuping, sorry, I'm drunk. And also maybe on this side. This side is tougher. It's much easier for the Panthers to show up and start wrecking face. But over here, you're relatively safe from the Panthers. Not a lot to worry about. And there's an all-important fuel point up here, with the Auster does have control of. The Auster has control of the 2 important fuel points, so plus 33 versus plus 16 for the Soviets. So I think slowly but surely this is slipping away from the Soviet player is what I would have to predict. K-Pen realizes that he has 12 Thai coins. Great. I'm trying to keep the Thai coin inflation very low. I don't want Thai coins to be fucking like, oh, I've got 1 billion Thai coins. We're in Zimbabwe. No. Fuck Zimbabwe. How's the German mortar doing? It's dead. So long ago it died. Soviet mortar up to 12 kills. There's the German mortar. Or what's left of it. Ugh. It's bad that I'm tired, because it's not anywhere near my bedtime. Strange retreat from the Panzergrenz. I suppose the Maxim had opened up on them. So it's not a strange retreat. The Maxim had opened up on them, and they didn't want to just get instantly suppressed. So you just pull out. You just run away. And live to fight another day. This Maxim is got to be a pain in the ass. I'm surprised we haven't seen frag bombs on the Maxim. That, I think, would be a useful use of frag bombs, but the German player down to 1 more uses of frag bombs before all the munitions are gone, so not a lot you can do vis-a-vis that sort of thing. Soviet player hurting for the VPs. I think that's gonna end this game pretty soon, actually. Oh, nice mortar hit. Makes me happy. Hey, look, the T-34 is on the edge, and already it's getting fucking work done, guys. It crushed a couple fuckers under its treads. Yeah, cat likes that. Cat likes that. Yeah, nothing makes me happier in the world than T-34s crushing things. Crushing some fucking Nazis. That's good. So yeah, see, you send these things off to the margins, you clear some space, you have not as many infantry squads as you used to have, but you still have a lot of infantry squads. You could totally send these things over to the left and start capping some stuff. The German player realizes this, actually. Very prescient. Oh, wow. I said I like T-34s crushing things. To be honest, I'm an equal opportunity crush enjoyer, and that Panther crushing some stuff really rejuvenated my batteries. I'm definitely hard right now. So, yeah, German player really correctly realizes this is a tactical sort of issue over here. The Soviets sending the T-34s over here and just making it safe for infantry. So really presciently sending those Panthers over the left. And actually, turns out that leaves the center open for the T-34s. There's a pack, but that's it. This could backfire. But the Panthers are fast enough, the map is small enough that they can just come back. And now the Soviet player, I think this is just the last gasp, trying to get some shit happening, but it's not happening. Stop trying to make fetch happen, because rest in peace. Glorious Red Army! Zombie Francis says, yeah, conscripts aren't cutting it. I don't know. Conscripts not cutting it is, I think, not the lesson of this game. I think what's not cutting it is combined arms not cutting it. The Soviet player made some ill-advised, or at least one ill-advised charge into the middle with some T-34-85s, lost at least 1, maybe 2, could have had a critical mass of them, and once you have a critical mass of T-34-85s, that's when the fancy stuff starts happening. I don't think I would blame this loss on the conscripts. I am biased, I love conscripts so much that I never blame losses on them, but I'm not sure. Tobis COH says, you obviously need to do shots for 50 Thai coins. I would die of alcohol poisoning. But that's not a bad idea, so I'll probably add that. Everybody's got to die of something. Very noble of the Soviet players still fighting, trying to fucking cap in the north, has the T-34 supporting the effort, killing the scout car. For a second I thought this was a Panther, but it's not. It's a scout car, it's dead. The Panthers just have too many fires to put out all around the map. They're being frantic, and so this is probably going to keep the Soviet player in the game for quite a while the German player tries to wrangle this shit. But man, Maxim is going to get the MVP of the match for me, I think. It hasn't been tremendously impactful in terms of kills. It's got 6 kills, but it's just been the hero suppressing these Panzer Grenadiers when you really needed that. So we would have seen many Panzer Grenadiers overrunning the Russian position over and over had that Maxim not been there. So I think although the Russian player is looking like they're losing this game, we cannot underestimate the importance of the Maxim, and I hope all of you will join me in commemorating the important role that that machine gun played in this fight. So rest in peace, Russians. Game is over. So yeah, this T-34 is newish. We just lost 2 T-34s over here, or just 1. Whew, I'm drunk. I guess it's just 1. But really, what's happening is you need like 18 T-34-85s, and they just weren't all on the map at the same time, and the opponent was able to get all the all the Panthers on the map at the same time. So that's my tactical analysis. The Tycho tactical time thing. Thing starts with a T, so it fits in with Tycho's tactical time. K-Pen says, do we need a replay of Russians winning? I don't know. I don't really keep track of how this shit works. People on YouTube are posting like, oh god, it's another replay where the Germans are fighting. Actually, oh wow, these guys are butt buddies. A lot of people posting on my YouTube channel lately that they're sad that Germans keep losing games. Well, people sad that the Germans keep losing games. Here's a game for you. Guess what? Germans aren't losing. In fact, if I had to guess, I'd say the Germans win. So that's a place to end it on. Fuck all y'all Nazis who are like, Germans never win on Tycho's channel. Because they do. They do. Deutschland über alles.